y'all, welcome back, Manny with My Hectic Life Pets, where we talk about all things pet and pet related. And today I thought it would be a lot of fun to make an enclosed terrarium using plants that I found in my own backyard. Now, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing as I post a ton of videos about plants and pets. And if you are already subscribed, please hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. So I am really getting into the whole enclosed terrariums and vivariums and everything, and I thought it'd be a really fun project to go ahead and see what I could do with just a couple of plants from my own backyard. Now, it is winter time and it has been raining a lot, so I've got a lot of weeds growing in my backyard, and I figured why not go ahead and make use of those weeds while I have them, because they are naturally growing this time of year in North Texas. So I thought it would make for an interesting enclosed terrarium. So I went ahead and set out all of my supplies that I will need to build this terrarium with. My gravel and some stones, my substrate barrier, and just all the things that I will need to make this build, especially of course the jars themselves. Now, I wanted to find some different plants out in the yard, and I came across some shepherd's needle and some henbit dead nettle. So I'm going to go ahead and gather those into a container and bring those inside. Now, I put the plants in the container and I added some dechlorinated water to kind of soak them and get some of that dirt and any nastiness that might possibly be on the plants. Alright, now that our jar's open, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in the first layer, which is going to be my gravel. This is my drainage layer. It's going to help prevent too much moisture from building up in the actual soil. So it's a very necessary component when you're building an enclosed terrarium. Here I've got my substrate barrier that I'm going to cut to fit inside the jar. Now, I do want this to be slightly larger than the jar, so when we place it in the jar, none of the actual substrate is going to end up in with the rocks. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my substrate, which is going to be sort of a homemade ABG type of mix. I've got peat moss, activated charcoal, organic potting soil, and bark in my mix. Now that the plants have soaked for a while, they are ready to wring out and actually add to the terrarium. I'm gonna go ahead and use my tweezers to start planting these into the terrarium. So first I'm gonna plant in the henbit dead nettle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in the shepherd's needle. You wanna be kind of careful because you don't wanna accidentally injure the plant as you're trying to plant it in there as you're working with a small space. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add in some nice little stones to kind of give this terrarium a little bit more personality. And once I feel like everything is looking the way I want it to, then it's going to be time to go ahead and add in my springtails. These little guys will act like a cleanup crew and help to keep the terrarium cleaner and nicer. And now that everything's in, I'm going to go ahead and take my spray bottle with the chlorinated water in it, and I'm going to squirt down on the sides of the terrarium glass. I like spraying the sides of the glass because it kind of helps push any substrate that might have gotten on the side of the jar back down where it goes and makes the jar look cleaner. So now that we're all done, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on and close this up. And we have our finished terrarium. So I am pretty happy with how this terrarium turned out so far, and in a couple of months we'll just have to check up and see how it's doing. So anyway guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!